Hey y'all, we are back to your regular scheduled programming. After taking a week off because Kevin was busy last week with work, I was in the middle of moving. So if you are watching on YouTube, this is a very different background. As you can see, I have a couch, I have a pool table, I have a Peloton.
Look at that
I'm in my
Peloton.
parents' basement in New Hampshire, where I will be until my wife and I find a home back here in New Hampshire. So this is it for right now.
Real
This is the
quick, so
yo.
I learned this thing today. So your state motto is live free or die.
The best state motto out there.
It sounds very aggressive, but hey, shout out to New Hampshire.
Hey, General John Stark, who is from New Hampshire, there's a high school in Ware, New Hampshire called John Stark High School. Um, Said that, and that's how it just became our state motto. We'll live free or die. It's phenomenal. I love it. Love every bit about it. I have it tattooed on me, so I can't
I
be
was like,
upset by it.
you definitely have a tattoo of that somewhere. It's definitely tattooable.
Right there. Right there. Right there.
Wow, and like the area code
And
too.
603, and I have it on my arm. So yes, I am
I one day I'm eventually gonna get another tattoo. I'm not gonna lie to you. I had a thought about it when I went to WrestleMania because they
ooh,
had a tattoo shop
ooh.
like booth at WWE World. So I was like, you know what? Not this year, but the next time I go, I definitely think I should get me a tattoo.
Of what? What would you get? Now that we're going to
I've
go off
no
off off
I
the
have
tangent
no
here.
idea. I would figure I honestly I think I just figure something out like spur of the moment.
Those are I have my right leg is basically spur of the moment tattoos. I have a Cubone with Cubone crossbones and a crown above it that I have with our producer Andrew. I have a ghost with a basketball. I have a pumpkin with some smoke going through it. And then I
That's
have
incredible.
the original six Avenger movie characters. So like what? Hemsworth, Chris Evans, Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner.
Like
Um,
all of them on your leg. Why haven't I never
well, no,
noticed?
so it's the six of them. They created their own unique logo for all six of their characters. So I have that
Okay.
tattooed on my leg.
Oh
Um,
my gosh.
my next one is going to be something on my left leg. My whole left leg is becoming like a travel leg. So
That's
I hope
actually lit.
so. I'm going to add a bunch of stuff. I have two big triangles for places I've gone so far. I'm going to put another one probably in the next year. And then it's basically going to be the whole bottom part of my leg is just going to be that with like a road map and ripping apart. So it's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be a hell of a lot of fun to have it.
One of these days I'll have to add another tattoo. We'll
I,
see. I just gotta figure out what and where.
yeah, I have too many at this point. I have like 30, so it's okay.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey, that's what happens. My favorite one though so far is I have a basketball one on my leg with it's like a rusty looking hoop with the net like ripped off of it with a skull like screaming through it.
Oh my gosh. The creativity. Absolutely fantastic.
well, well now let's bypass the tattoo. Maybe we'll have a full tattoo episode one day. I don't know. That'd be
I mean, we
dope.
might have to when we do it in the summertime when the sports are like super low. We might have to.
I'm down with that. But let's talk about what we're wearing. Kevin, I see you rocking the hat. I got you. Um, Hats off to
Yes.
your Knicks for destroying the Indiana Pacers last
Ah,
night. So
that win was incredible. The other yes, was it yesterday? Yeah,
yeah, it was
yesterday.
yesterday.
I mean, that win was just incredible. Way to, it's hard to come back from when you get completely slaughtered by 32.
Yeah,
So the way they were able to come back, poised, they used that energy from the garden to get them going. I believe they had our guy Miles McBride start, and he
yeah,
got
he
off to
was
a nice start.
starting.
Put up 17 points. Hartenstein with 12 offensive rebounds yesterday. I believe that is the second most since Charles Oakley did it with 14. So he was only two short, I believe. Somebody might have to fact check me on that, but
Damn.
really, really, really happy with that win. That was a good team win, and I hope we close it out on Friday because I know who I want. The world wants it. I talked to Ronald. Shout out to Ronald. He goes, you know, and I know that nobody gives a shit about the Cavs or the Pacers, and neither of them, nobody wants to watch them in the Eastern Finals. So let's
No,
give the people what they want. New York versus Boston.
in a 4-game series, because I'm sorry, it's just gonna get swept.
No, it's all right.
It's gonna
No
probably.
way. If it ends up being like a super close series, we're gonna have to take a hiatus. I'm gonna have to take a hiatus
Oh
for
no, no,
like,
no, no.
like
If it
two
gets to
weeks because I'm
like,
not gonna be able to handle it.
say like it gets to because anything could happen. It is the NBA playoffs. We've seen crazier stuff happen. The
Mm-hmm.
Celtics are hopefully closing out tonight against the Cavs at home. The
Yeah.
Knicks play Friday night. Hopefully they close out in Indiana. Downside about that whole series though is Indiana and New York, they've won each of their home games. So this might go 7. And my hope as a Celtics fan, it does go 7 because I want Kristaps to get a couple more days of rest
Yeah.
because
See,
it's different when you have Kristaps Porzingis out there compared to Al Horford, which the Celtics have been going with since game 3 of the
mhm.
first round. So I'd
It was
like to
really
see that.
interesting that you say that because I was watching highlights from First Take, and then somebody suggested that the Knicks go to Game 7. Why? In order to give OG another extra day before, if the Knicks were to inevitably win and to face your Celtics.
But
But, I feel like that's just too risky. I don't even want to like risk that. Just get the damn series over with. And then when OG heals, he heals, and we put him back in the series.
yeah, you really can't do much with that one. He got what, a high ankle sprain or something, or
No, it's a hamstring
oh, so
sprain.
his is worse. His is kind of like what Donovan Mitchell's dealing with in this Cavs and Celtics series where he hasn't played. He didn't play game 4, he's not playing game 5. Um, so
Mm-mm.
that's not an injury you come back from straight away. That's Giannis had that
Absolutely
injury.
not.
He didn't come back at all in the playoffs. So if he comes back, great. Either way, if it is the Knicks Celtics in that Eastern Conference Finals, it's going to be a hell of a series. We both know it's going to be a dogfight. Both those arenas are going to be erupting. Um, Granted, we're both biased because we want our teams to win. Um, I think the Knicks give us a good series. It would be a great series to watch. No matter if you're a basketball fan, you will just enjoy it. Kevin and I will
I
hate every
think
moment of it.
I think we're at least getting 6 to 7 games of
It will
whatever
test
the
our
next series
friendship.
is.
Let's put it this way: it'll test our
We
friendship.
might end the podcast like if it gets to a point. Like we might if depending on how crazy this series goes, we're gonna need to take like a 2 month hiatus to just recover, and then we'll do an NBA recap the next time we come on because I don't know how my heart's gonna take it if it's gonna be like the way the Sixers series was because it's too much, too much.
Oh no, the first episode back, if that happens, is our white NBA team. That's what we would started off with.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
I have my starting five. It's phenomenal starting five. It's great.
I'm
Um,
pretty sure I saw it, but we'll release it whenever we do it on here.
all right. So you're rocking your Knicks apparel. You bought the that's the 3/4, right? That we got.
Yes, the three
Nice.
quarter. I really want to find the black one. I can't find it anywhere.
I know. I want the black sweatshirts that the coaches wear for the Celtics. I think it's dope. Um, so like Kevin's rocking Knicks stuff tonight. I'm rocking an old school Parrish,
I like that.
McHale, and Bird, the big three,
I like
for
it.
the Celtics. So just hanging out, enjoying it. I've got the Celtics game on right now. They're up 23-19, with about 3 minutes left in the first. So we'll see how this game goes. God damn, Marcus Morris hitting a triple. So now it's 22-23. But let's talk weekly sports update. We got a lot to talk about. There's been a lot going on. WNBA, they tipped off last night. Caitlin
Yes, they
Clark,
did.
we got
She debuted.
her debut. 2.3 million people watched. I did watch some of it. I didn't watch a lot just because I was bouncing between the Bruins game, bounced between the Knicks game. I watched that game as well. But 2.3 million viewers, that's the largest crowd they've ever had, watching it. So that's phenomenal.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but she didn't really show up for that game. So,
I mean, how could she when she was literally getting guarded, face guarded the entire game?
which
I
is
was watching the highlights and I was like, you know,
that's what had to
welcome.
happen though. Welcome
Yeah,
to the
welcome.
WNBA.
Yeah, she had her moment. I think so hold on. I actually have her stats up right now. 5 for 15, 4 for 11 for 3-point baskets, 6 for 6 for free throws, 2 steals, and this was a tough one. 10 turnovers, bringing her to a plus minus of a negative 13.
Uh,
So she had herself a rough night. But then again, I mean, you're a rookie in the WNBA
and that's going to
playing
happen.
against grown women. That's what's gonna happen.
And they knew what they were going to do. They face guard you. A lot of teams showed it in the tournament how to play you. Um, one of her turnovers was really really bad. Like they double teamed her a lot because they didn't want to get the easy threes. But they got blown out. It's okay. First game of the season. We'll see how they do. Majority of their games are sellouts. The Sun, haven't sold out a game since 2003. So it's 8,000 plus fans that can go into that arena where they play. So they sold out a home opener for the first time in 21 years. So big Caitlin Clark effect.
Yeah.
But
Shout out to Dejanay Carrington. She was the one that was faced with the
mhm,
objective to stop Caitlin Clark, and boy, did she stop her last night.
yeah,
Um, I believe 13 out of the 20 points from Caitlin Clark came in the second half when she started to get it going a little bit. But
yeah. She scored 7 points to start in the first half. One from five from three, and I think 2 for 5 from, she had any foul shots at that point. So she had 2 for 5 for 2 pointers. Her first basket was a layup. So um, let's talk about it real quick. We had the Liberty. They beat the Mystics last night, 85-80. That's great.
mhm.
Great start to the year for them. The Fever, of course, lost by 21. Um, it's going to happen. You're going to have good games, bad games. The
Yeah, shout out
Mercury,
to the Liberty. Let's see, stat wise, you got John Quell Jones leading with 25 points and
5.
8 rebounds. Brianna Stewart, this is crazy. She only had 8 points yesterday.
That's okay.
Yeah,
That's okay.
but shout out to the Liberty for getting their win, starting off the season with a W.
Yeah.
Shout
And
out to Noel, season ticket holder for them. So that's a W in his book.
And then the Mercury lost the Aces 89-80. Looks like from a great game from both Asia Wilson and Diana Taurasi, of course. And the Lynx beat the Storm 83-70. Um, Good games across the board. I guess I know they said that all of the teams are starting to get charter flights, so they're not flying commercial. Apparently, the Sky and the Lynx were the only two that had to fly somewhere that didn't have a charter flight. They just hadn't got them set up yet. So hopefully in the near future they have charter flights, which would be great. So we shall see.
Yeah, I believe that's happening at least the start of next year, if I read
No,
that
it's
correctly.
starting this year.
Is it starting this year?
It's starting this year, starting this season. From what I could be wrong, but that's what I thought I saw. So
Good. It's
we,
about damn time.
yeah, Angel Reese posted her on Instagram or Snapchat or whatever, being like, hopefully this is the last time we have to fly, on a regular plane, not a charter plane, because she's chilling in a business class with 100 other people. Um, why is Cyrus joining us?
Cyrus is joining us right now?
Apparently,
No way.
what the fuck?
Just wanted to just pop on for the hell of it.
What?
This is
Cyrus?
great. It's going to be great content.
Oh my god.
Is he on?
I don't know. Did he text me?
I don't see his bubble come up.
It's showing on my screen.
Oh my god, that's hilarious. I can't wait to see him
Okay, well, let's keep talking until he. I don't know.
until he pops up. Unless he just like by mistake just wanted to freaking hop on.
I don't know. It's Cyrus. I hope he hears
Cool.
us.
That would be hilarious if he just totally just accidentally was trying to do another Zoom meeting and then just decided and it ended up joining ours. I would crack up laughing.
That would be great. Um, Ronnie James medically cleared from the NBA doctors to play in the NBA. He also, from what I've read, had a phenomenal combine. Was one of the
He's
top
been
athletes.
balling out.
So great for him. As Wojciechowski said, he will sell tickets. He will sell out arenas for the G League. They don't think he'll be an NBA player right away. And he's going to have to take his time to get there. But I actually hope he doesn't go to the NBA. I hope he stays in college. I want him to stay another year to get a little bit better.
I really was hoping that he would stay in college. I think he needs another year of seasoning, and I just love how Cyrus is here. Cyrus,
Cyrus, are you
say
on?
something.
I am on
Why are you here?
because I heard Kevin. Because I heard Kevin was talking about the Knicks, and I figured I'd jump in just to say, I am sorry for doubting you.
Oh
And
my
for
Oh my
God.
God.
the Knicks. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
Oh my
Oh
God.
my gosh. Wow. Yeah, you know what? I forgive you, Cyrus. You might as well just hang out for the rest of the podcast at this
How
rate.
the fuck did he
This
just
is
like,
freaking
he was like
great.
sitting there, Cyrus is sitting there going, I think Kevin's talking about the Knicks. I'm going to join the podcast random.
He had to have seen the Instagram post to know that we're recording. So like
I
literally.
I did. And why is my background going crazy? I did. And then I was thinking about it. I'm like, I should just go on there just to say I'm sorry because, I made him feel bad, Merritt. I all this time I was dissing his team, as I'm watching the Celtics struggle with the Cleveland Cavaliers.
I know.
I'm like, I should just call in and say, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry.
This is the best like break-in into the podcast recording ever. I
Oh my
can't
God.
wait.
This is great.
Oh my gosh.
Oh
I
my
like the new
God.
digs, man. I like the new place, man.
Thanks. Hope it's not permanent. It's just here for a time being.
Well, Cyrus, you're here, so we might as well get your thoughts. Your thoughts on Bronny James's combine performance.
I thought that it was pretty good. But again, just like they say in football, you can do everything with the t-shirts and shorts, right? It's just when you put it back together, can you get it together when you put it all together? I think that's the biggest thing he's going to have the problem with, because it's not like you're playing against, let's say, Mike Conley, who's been in the league 14, 15 years, who understands, okay, LeBron James likes to pull up here, do this, do that, game plan for you. Like it's not like that. College is not like that. College is a game plan. They have an idea, they want to shut down, they want to give you what it is, then they want to move on. That's what it is. So I think he'll be okay. I think whatever team he goes to, he'll be okay. I've got a feeling that he won't go to the Lakers, or if he does, somebody else takes him. The Lakers are going to have to give up a ton of money and picks to get him.
Well, apparently the
Me.
Lakers are open to moving Austin Reeves and want a truckload for him.
But is it really a big deal losing Austin Reeves? Think about that, Merritt.
He
He
sucks.
played basketball before. Yeah, right. I mean,
Well, NBA wise, he's not the caliber you would expect to be being paid that
correct.
much money.
Right.
But I think before you joined, we were talking about what Wojciechowski said. He said, Bronny will sell out arenas for the G League. He will sell out a lot of the other things because of his social media platform, who his dad is, all these things, right? Those all play a factor. So I do hope that he, does well enough that he can get out of that shadow of his dad. But I also want him to go back to college for at least a year. I think he needs one more year to just get better, just to get older, get more experience, then go to the draft. You're more than likely at that point still going to be more than likely to get into the first round instead of the second round.
Right.
Because he's projected a second round pick right now. So probably get to a late first round by the end of next year.
Well,
I was also just thinking with Bronny, like look at what we have from just like a viewing perspective of him. He just getting like bench minutes. I feel like I would like to see him like as a starter in
Right.
college to see how he performs and see how his body matures and how he gets better instead of
Well,
him
did you?
just like going. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did you hear that they were talk about this year's draft is having maybe like 3 guys in it, and everybody else is strictly like role players or people they were going to
Mhm.
hide for like a
The
year
top,
overseas.
it's just
Yeah,
the top 3 guys were the best, and they're thinking that it's a French kid going #1, and then 2 guys from potentially Kentucky going
Yep.
2, 3, and after
Yeah.
that, it's just filling in spots or hey, we need a sharpshooter, so we'll get this kid from Kentucky at pick 15. He's good, but he's not great. It
Mhm.
it, it is by far in the past 10 years probably one of the weakest drafts that we're gonna
right.
see.
And
Oh yeah.
I think that's what he's betting on. That's why he came out this year, and I think that's why
Well, he's still
when they went,
he
yeah,
has 2 weeks still to say if he's
he
going
does.
to,
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
he has to make his decision by May 29th to remove himself from the draft and go back to school or stay in the draft. So he has a couple of weeks. Um,
So here's
well,
a question for you. Here's a question for you guys. If he decides to go back and he goes back into the portal, where would you think would be the perfect fit for him school wise? I'm not talking about him learning, because obviously he's only going to stay another year, maybe 2. He'll go back and get his degree eventually, like his dad did. But I mean, like, where do you think he should go that he would fit in?
Hmm.
honestly, I'd go Arkansas. And the only reason I say that is it's because it's Calipari.
Hmm.
And what he's done with players like Bronny.
Right.
Let's use great example. How many of us ever expected Tyler Hero to go in the first round of an NBA draft? I'm using him as an example
Nah.
just because he's a good player. Is he
Hmm.
phenomenal? No.
Hmm.
But he went, who is the kid? James Young for the Celtics. Whoever
Hmm.
expected him to go in the first round of an NBA draft? Nobody. He didn't pan out. He's overseas now. I think Bronny going to someone like Calipari, who focuses on those players that want to develop quickly and want to get out quickly, would be a really good spot for him. Do I think he's going to end up there if he does stay? No, I think he's going to go back to Dayton or go to Dayton where his dad's best friend is the head coach.
What about you, Kev?
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I don't know if he'd go to a high major program. Dayton's a very interesting one. I did not know about that fact about
I think
LeBron's
it's
like best friend.
I think it's Dayton where he was, but I could be wrong. It is one of those,
It
or
is.
is
It
it
is the one.
Duquesne,
No,
something like that?
Duquesne. There's something like that. It is one of those. It is one of those schools in that area. But he just got the job. Though he literally just got the job from wherever he was at before.
Yeah, because
Gotcha.
he's been an assistant coach for years, and then their high school head coach, who he then followed to become a coach there, just retired, so he stepped in as the head coach now. So
Mm, okay. Yeah, I mean, I could see him going to like if he being from Ohio, you know, think about like a smaller school like an Akron, so he could be like a star player and at least get started possible starting minutes, someplace like that. Like it's it's around his hometown, um, you know, and this is just me just fancy booking. You know that he's gonna sell tickets. They'll get him minutes in the game. It's a smaller school, but so there's not gonna be as much pressure on him if he were to say go to what like a Ohio State or something
Mm.
like that.
yeah, go
But
to a Michigan, Ohio State, any of those bigger programs. Even if, let's just say, for some god awful reason, decide to come to Morgantown, West Virginia. I'm sorry, Morgantown's a big college program. Even that, I think, wouldn't be good for him because he won't get the minutes. There's players that we're going to talk about here in a moment who are a lot better than him and older that are going to play.
yeah, like I'll be honest, Cyrus. You asked like where would he go transfer portal? It's I almost see him trying to be G League eligible and just get drafted by a G League team and just develop that way. I don't know. It's just hard for me. I think about when like Dwayne Wade's son like went to G League instead of going to college.
Yeah,
Like
but Dwayne Wade's son's now in Africa playing.
Well, I mean, exactly. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I just don't see. I almost don't see Bronny like fitting in college for whatever reason.
I want to. I'm going to swing it this way, and it's going to be an interesting. I want to hear you guys' take. So, from everything I've watched, everything I have heard, is Bryce, the middle son or middle child, technically, is a step above Bronny, talent
I heard that
wise.
also.
When I watched Bryce play. Bryce is
He can
the
shoot,
best of
and he's big.
Yes, yes,
So,
yes.
do we think he is a one and done? Do we think he actually can take that step and be a one and done? Because I don't think majority of us believe that his brother can be. I think his brother's going to be a great potential role player in the NBA one day. I do. Um, but I think Bryce will be that player that steps
Bryce will be
really.
that dude. But Bryce will be that dude. But Bryce is going to wind up doing 2 years of school. And here's the reason why. Not because he's not ready to go one and done, but to see what his brother went through, and then to try to go and be better than that. Because now think about this: if you're trying to do the same thing as Bronny did and it didn't work out, right? You don't want to be the guy that tried it again and screwed up, right? So even with my dad being LeBron James, so now okay, I'm going to go 2 years because essentially you really, I mean, if you think about it, once you declare for a draft, you really don't go to classes or anything like that second half of the year anyway.
Yeah.
You basically just live in the gym and go play ball. So he'll go for a year and a half of schooling. He'll go for 2 years. He'll play a year, get himself acclimated, play another year, build his craft up, and he'll probably wind up being a top 10 pick if he pans out. That's just because he's 6'8", 6'9". He can supposedly shoot, dribble, and pass, and he has somewhat of a post game right now. Supposedly, he just has to put on weight from what I've seen and understand. He just needs to put on weight. That's all they're really missing.
Hot take from Cyrus on that one. So if this doesn't pan out, we'll all come back to this and tell Cyrus he was an idiot.
I live with that.
Well, let's move on from the LeBron James family tree. NFL rookie minicamps just finished wrapping up last week. The Patriots, I think, was one of the last ones, so it was cool to watch some of the rookies get out there. No pads, whatever. Now it's regular minicamps for a lot of teams. So, guys, that means football is literally right around the corner for all of us.
Crazy to think about.
Tonight at 8 p.m. is schedule drop. So we already know every team that teams are going to play. The Chargers are still undefeated on what they do for the memes about all the teams they're playing. This year they did Pop-Tarts. So if you haven't seen it, please go check it out on Instagram, anything. I've already looked at it. It's hysterical. One of them, of course, they play the Chiefs. It's ketchup and Pop-Tarts because Patrick Mahomes loves ketchup for some reason. The Raiders are trash. The Patriots are an empty box and an empty wrapper. So just fun little things. But yeah, NFL season's coming up. I'm excited for it. Like I've said before, I know my Patriots team is going to suck. We're not going to be good, but I think it's going to be more fun to watch this year than it has been in the past few years as a Patriot fan. So hopefully, we make it competitive. We lose majority of the games, still get a top 3 draft pick next year, and just build through that draft again like we really should. Get away from that old school Bill Belichick model of let's bring all the players in to do everything. It's like, it's not working anymore. So,
oh man, I gotta look up I'm just looking at I guess the flavors that the people
oh my
are
God, they're hysterical.
So you have the Raiders is garbage. So their flavor is Pop-Tarts
Garbage.
frozen garbage. The Steelers is frosted rust. And then the Buccaneers are the Pirates of the Caribbean edition of the Pop-Tarts.
Jeez.
So fun times. I have to really look into the rest of the reasoning for this. Oh, shout out to the Denver Broncos for being the great value version of Pop Tarts.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah,
that's messed up.
yeah.
That is messed up.
I think that's funny.
Love it.
Let's jump back to NBA real quick. The Atlanta Hawks
Mhm.
have the #1 draft pick.
Woo! And they're gonna draft the guy
Point
from
guard.
France, and nobody cares.
They're gonna draft a point guard. I don't know.
I mean, if I'm the Hawks, I think they just blow it up, see what they can get for Trey Young, and
And
maybe
Murray.
see what other assets. No, they'll keep Murray as the star.
Yeah.
I honestly, I'm with Merritt on this one. I
Get
blow
rid of them
everything up,
both.
man. I just blow it up, dude. I mean, you can get a lot more. You can get a lot more for Trey Young right now, and DeJounte Murray. You can get a lot back. So within the next couple of years, you can start building that franchise up again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't. There's no point in keeping. The only person I would say if you're going to keep is the kid from Virginia, Hunter. Like he's
Okay.
a,
Yeah,
he's a
you
really
have
good
to keep
pro.
it. You keep him because that was your draft pick last year. You keep that, but you get rid of Trey Young. You get rid of Devontae Murray.
Right.
I mean,
Take the
DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte. Thank you. You get the first overall pick. Build around those two guys that you have in top 3 picks. See what else is out there. Get rid of these shitty uniforms and go back to the old school blue ones that they had a few years back when like Al Horford was playing because those were dope. These red ones suck.
Yeah, they tried to mix like the old school with the new school, and it just wasn't
Didn't work.
vibing the way
Yeah. Oh,
it
and
didn't work.
other NBA news: the Raptors are retiring Vince Carter's number next year.
So are the Nets.
The Nets are too.
Yep, the Nets
Yeah.
are retiring as 15, which I'm super excited about. Which
I
is
would go,
awesome.
Kevin. If we could figure out what game that is, I would go for that because it's Vince Carter.
I agree. Yeah, I will.
I
take
would
a look.
go for that one too as well. I would go for that one too as well.
Perfect. All right, we'll set it up as a date. That will be our
Cool.
Daily Musings podcast one. So yeah, I will keep an eye out for when that schedule
Perfect.
comes out.
Well, let's jump to West Virginia highlights. Nothing to report with women's basketball. They're quiet on that front, which is okay.
Mhm.
And then men's basketball is phenomenal. They're looking good. They just signed Javon Small and Joseph Yusufu, Yasufu, something like that. Javon
Close
Small.
enough. You did good. You did great.
Yeah,
Javon
you did. I'm
Small.
liking that.
Hey, it's a guessing game with that one, dude. I knew I was going to blow that one up. Javon Small comes, I believe, from Oklahoma State.
Yep,
Mhm.
they're starting point
Yeah.
guard last year.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I don't know where Joseph came from. I can't remember.
He was a starting guard, so he originally a transfer from University of Kansas. He originally
Oh,
started
yes.
at
Okay.
Drake and then went to Kansas and then now transferring to us. So he's pretty much one of those guys that you have on those Kansas teams that get like the spot minutes towards the end of the game. And now he's looking to just get some extra time. I believe it is they have 1 year of eligibility left for each of them.
Yes.
And so that's just adding to the guard depth. We still have around 3 or 4 more spots available. So if you look at our roster right now, we have so many guards, which is great. I'm not 100% sure what the plan is there, but I would like to hope that we maybe
Kevin
get at
loves
least.
his big men. He wants his big men.
He does. He does.
I mean,
He does.
I ain't got nothing wrong with that. I just hope that we get at least somebody that can go, can grab some rebounds, and
Well,
just do some
you
good work.
always need that. I mean, but see, and here's the thing, right? With those guys coming in, the thing you have is that those guys haven't played a role of wherever they were at before. And I think that's the biggest. Now with the NIL stuff, I think that's the biggest thing now. You got people moving who haven't played bigger roles where they're at. And even like we were talking about Bronny James and everything else, right? It's really tough. And Merritt attested this, right? It's really tough as a basketball player to go from being the guy to being nobody, and then trying to go back being the guy again because you never, that role has changed, And if you haven't consistently did it, by the time you get back, you won't understand how it is to be that guy anymore. And I think that's the biggest thing. Like if these guys get ready to move over for West Virginia, they sound like they're nice players, right? But they weren't from West Virginia. They didn't grow up in the system. They didn't, and now you're asking them to come in and give 110 and score me 15 points a game. May not even happen.
No, hopefully Javon Small can, because he's pretty damn good.
Well, he can because I think, like I said, he's played his minutes. He's been there. So
the coach's son's going to give you about 24. I think he averages about 24, 25 a game. So he's pretty dang good. I like that. I'm intrigued.
And keep an eye out for the high schooler that flipped from being at Xavier, who was the #1 player
in Ohio.
So, I'm assuming he's going to get some playing time with us if he's willing to make that switch, because I believe Xavier had some grad transfers come in and had some unexpected people end up staying. So that's why he decided to leave and get out of his letter of intent and sign with us. So I'm drawing a blank on his name, Merritt.
We talked about him, I think, we talked
about him last week
or 2 weeks ago.
What's his name?
Ofrey.
No, that's
Ofrey's staying. Maybe not. I think we might have said something in a group text about it, but I do remember that. Biggest thing for West Virginia besides players that are joining is Kristoff is joining Kentucky. So good for him. Enjoy that.
Who?
Krisa or whatever.
Oh, Kirk Krisa. Yes.
Krisa.
I was so confused. I'm like, who the hell
Krisa.
is that?
Yeah. I don't like these foreign last names. I'm so bad with them.
And also the gentleman who we're talking about, #1 player in the state of Ohio, Jonathan Powell, 6'6" guard from Dayton, Ohio, who averaged 19.3 points and 4.6 rebounds per game, and was the Division I Ohio High School Basketball Coaches Association Player of the Year.
So he might average 10 points a game.
10 to 12 points a game. Lit.
That's fine by me.
But you know what the coach is trying to do now is build a tournament team. So when tournament time comes, he does not have to worry about these guys having to be tournament ready. So now that's why he's getting guards, multiple guys that he can put in multiple spots, guys that, and to Kevin's point, they need some big guys, but he'll survive with playing a 4-guard rotation in, the next second week of the NCAA tournament when he needs guys to put the ball up, right? He can live with that.
And also add in the fact that we need to break up this recruiting class because it's 10 players. And we need, you got to have some 1-year guys, some 3-year guys, some 4-year guys. So just to mix up the recruiting classes.
Yep. And then move on to football. We land a huge quarterback transfer. Redshirt freshman from BYU, Ryder Burton. This kid went from BYU, which we all know that school is known for, to one of the biggest party schools in the country. I don't know if he'll survive.
I think he'll be just fine.
I hope so, because he's apparently
phenomenal. I think he'll be okay. Yeah.
He's phenomenal. So I'm excited for that. We also released the black Cole jerseys.
I see those. Those are nice.
They're beautiful. I can't wait to get my hands on one of them. I need one in my life so badly.
I just need all the jerseys that recently released this past spring to come out so I can at least get one of each.
And then
do they get released to the bookstore before? Do they get released to the bookstore before they get released anywhere else or no?
They'll get released on like Fanatics and stuff around the same time frame. Yeah,
Fanatics will have them, the local bookstore, and then the place where Merritt and I get a lot of our stuff, the Book Exchange, which is like another type of bookstore in the town, will have them too. That's where we got our jersey, the Country Roads ones last year.
No, we ordered them. Oh yeah, we did. We ordered them from Book Exchange.
From Book Exchange.
Yeah, we did.
You found the code to have us save money.
Saved us like $50. It was great. And then of course we signed the top JUCO tight end, Gregory Genros. So that's big for us too. So I'm excited. This is going to be a fun team, I think, to watch. I know we're going to be at the pit game, all three of us on this right now. So we're excited for that. We'll have to start kind of doing a little bit more investigating into that in the near future. But gonna be fun. Then the other thing that I have for baseball or for West Virginia is baseball. Coach Mazey's last game at West Virginia was this past week. And they beat Kansas State 12-5. So hats off to this man. He basically built a whole baseball stadium for the program. Has done a lot for the program, which wasn't much when we were there. So
I remember how much of a joke our baseball program was when we were in school. How the baseball field was right behind the Coliseum. It was probably the shittiest looking baseball field ever. And Maisie pretty much took that program, got them a new stadium, and got them to be a competitive team, which that West Virginia has never been, ever.
no,
So
we are a horrible
kudos
baseball
to
program.
Maisie. He'll forever be a legend in the coaching ranks for West
I know?
Virginia for
Did
all
they?
he's
Did they?
done.
So the College World Series is when it's in a couple weeks, right?
It should be starting up
Yes.
in a week or two. Yeah,
Mhm.
Okay.
I think they
And
made
did
it.
they? Did that? Does you made it?
I
Did West
think-
Virginia make it or no?
Yeah, I don't. Merritt knows more about baseball than me.
Well,
Oh.
I see it. I see it when I watch ESPN. Like they'll talk about it, but I don't know like which teams are supposed to make from what era because I know that stuff gets all convoluted. Like somebody needs to win this somebody needs that. If they didn't win this, then they got to go back and do
Yeah,
that.
it's like a whole tournament and everything. It's all
Yeah,
madness.
it gets really confusing for me on that. Can't just like put them in there and just let them go.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's
Can't be as easy as the NBA, or like the not the NBA, the NCAA tournament where you just like put them all in just bracket style, one winner takes all.
They literally have nothing. It starts May 27th. Our selection show is May 27th. Regionals will be May 31st through June 3rd. Super regionals Friday through Sunday, June 7th through 9th, or Saturday and Monday, June 8th to 10th. First day of men's college World Series games is Friday, June 14th, and the finals will be Saturday through Monday, June 22nd, 23rd, 24th, if needed. So, yeah, they have nothing listed for any teams yet because we haven't reached selection. So, but I do believe that we'll make it. Yeah, that's all I got for West Virginia stuff. Biggest other big news is I moved back to New Hampshire. That's why I have a different background, which is phenomenal. Now it's the process of trying to find a home, which is a lot of fun. I can tell you that. It's great. It's a fun market out there right now. But we'll see. You know what, we'll find the right place for us. But it's kind of nice. My parents are enjoying having their grandson around more often than not and hanging out with him basically every day. So I can't complain. I could complain about this Celtics game though. This is killing me.
Yeah, I seen this. This is
It's 48-48. Like, what the fuck?
Oh, wait a minute.
goodness gracious.
They might have knocked out Darius Garland. They might have knocked out another player.
Yeah, Garland just got knocked out. Brown went through and did
Dang.
a Euro step and hit him in the face on accident and it might have broken something. So that's fine. Get rid of him. That's fine. Makes it a little bit easier for us. I
So
say that with a
listen,
grain of salt.
if you hurt two more players, they only have 5 players in uniform. I mean,
That sucks for them.
They can't lose
Sucks
at
for
that
them.
point.
Well, let's talk quickly NBA playoffs. I know we want to go through this quick, but the Knicks Pacers series has been phenomenal. Past two games have basically been blowout wins by the home team. Each home team has won their respective games. So it goes back to Indy on Friday night. I do think Indy will win. I think they're going to come out harder and play a little bit better basketball. And then, of course, they'll lose in Game 7 in Madison Square Garden. So there's that. We'll start with that series. So you guys,
it's done. I mean, the Pacers don't play any defense. That's the problem. If they played actual defense, I think they probably get to the conference finals, maybe have a shot at the finals, but they don't play much defense.
Did I
Yeah,
just
what happened?
I just watched the play that they're calling Jaylen Brown a foul on. He barely touched Garland or didn't even touch him, and he just like flops.
Yo,
I'm
Oh, yeah.
I
sorry.
think, to answer Merritt's question, I think the Knicks are going to take it in Game 6.
Okay.
They're finishing it off because you guys are hopefully going to finish it tonight, and then Sunday we start the duel, and hopefully that duel happens. But knock on wood, we will rock it out.
Yep. It's gonna be fun.
Although, Merritt, I got to tell you, Jason Tatum's new colorway he has on for those sneakers tonight, I really want them. Just FYI.
The black and white ones, I think they're phenomenal.
Yeah, yeah. Like there's white and black, and then the other sneaker is black and white.
Yeah. I like that one. I like that color combo. They're fresh. Well, let's talk Celtics Cavs. The next game is on right now. I know everyone that's going to listen to this in the next couple of days, it's not on. But it is a great game. Celtics are not playing overly well. And the Cavs are playing great without Donovan Mitchell. The past 2 games he's been out, the role players and bench players have stepped up, which I think has kind of messed with the Celtics a little bit, where they're not used to playing certain players. Merrill hadn't played majority of this series. Wade hadn't played much of this series, but they stepped in and they're playing pretty well. So I think throwing in that wrench has kind of screwed with the Celtics a little bit. But yeah, I do think we win it tonight. I don't care how we win it. I just think we win it. We
It's
got a
going to be
couple
ugly.
extra days.
It's going to be ugly. Yeah, you'll win the game, but it's going to be ugly. It's not going to be like 15-20. Easy blowout win. It's going to be ugly because for some reason, everybody's just listen. They're these guys. Like to your point, most of these guys haven't put up or played major minutes during the season, and they're trying to ball out now to save their season. But
Yeah.
talent wise, it's not there.
Yep. Well, talent didn't have much to do last year when it was the Heat versus damn Celtics. The Celtics were a more talented team then. So,
Well, all right. Well, you got me on that one, but
yeah. But great series so far. Kevin, what are your thoughts?
Are you talking about Celtics Cavs, right?
Yes.
I think the Cavs should finish it tonight. I think
the Cavs.
Sorry, your Celtics. Sorry, they both start with the letter C.
That's true. I'll give you that.
I think. I just think the Tatum is too good. Jaylen Brown is too good, and they're in Boston, so I just think your crowd is too damn rowdy, and unless Cleveland really just is hitting on all cylinders, I just don't see them winning. Maybe they squeak by somehow this game, but I just really feel like your Celtics are just too dominant.
Yeah, I think so too. Let's move on to the Western Conference, where these have been
interesting.
They're interesting because I've watched part of I rewatched this the Mavs Thunder game the other night. It was game 4. They're playing game 5 tonight. I won't lie. I still think my prediction from a couple weeks ago is right. I think the Mavs will beat them in the long run. I think the Mavs will beat them. They're playing them the right way. Just put as many people in that box as possible. Dare them to shoot, because Giddey can't shoot for shit. The Mavs just need Kyrie to actually score. That's a missing piece for sure.
I think that's the one thing that we haven't truly seen is Kyrie and Luka both go off at the same time. I think you can't if they're both at it, the Mavs are hard to stop.
And we're seeing Luka play with basically get hurt over and over and over in every game. So he's playing with basically a broken body. I'd love to see if him and Irving are healthy or even playing a great game to see what they can do, because I do think they're the better team at the end of the day.
I wouldn't be surprised if they would try to win this just so they can get Luka healthy. You know what I'm saying? Just play. If they win tonight, they win tonight. They're gonna win. They're gonna win tonight. They're gonna win Game 6 and try to get Luka, some rest before he has to play the winner of the Wolves in Denver, because it's gonna be one hell of a series either way.
And that'll be
So
Friday. We'll know that game Friday.
right.
And might I add, speaking of the Denver and Timberwolves series, that is, I mean, talk about probably the second most exciting series thus far of the playoffs. I watched that sequence on Mother's Day of when was it Porter Jr. that went for the dunk, and then they got the steal, and then Jamal Murray just hit the half court heave. I remember when he threw it, I was like, I think that's going in. Lo and behold, it went in, and man, I think that series is going 7.
I
I
think
don't know
so
about you
too.
It
guys.
is. It
It,
is. It is.
you know what though? It could just end Friday night.
Yeah.
Even though
If it does,
they're
if
going to
it
be in
does,
Minnesota. What they're
Yeah.
going to be in Minnesota, right?
yeah,
Oh, would they be in Minnesota? Yeah,
They're
they
in
were. 'Cause they were in
Minnesota.
Denver last
Yeah.
night, right?
So even in Minnesota, I think the Nuggets are a better team.
Mm.
And their season and experience, they know how to go through this.
As a team, they are 1,000 times better, right? They just cohesiveness, what they can do. The Timberwolves have all the right pieces. They're just not melding correctly. I don't think Rudy Gobert is a good player on that team. I don't think he's worth being on that team. Move on from him and get another like a power forward that can score more. With Karl Anthony Towns, I
Yeah,
think
but you don't think his defense has been like worth it though?
No, I don't think he's defensive player of the year. They gave it to him because he's a giant human being. I don't like giving it to a center like they have the past couple of years besides Marcus Smart. I don't ever see it as that. I think
I'm going to say this though, and I think we talked about it it was either last year or this year's NBA when we talked. I said that if Karl Anthony Towns doesn't get his stuff together, he's gone down in Minnesota. I will stick to that. I can tell you right now, he will end up probably in the Lakers uniform, or he will end up someplace where he can. He doesn't have the eyeballs on him, and he won't have to worry about putting up 30 points a game in order to get this team over the hump.
Dude, Tatum just got a technical after he hit a 3 because the ref got upset.
Nice.
Dude, these refs need to just
these guys. Yeah,
these refs are.
Did you see what they did with Caitlin Clark?
No, I
The
didn't.
guy gave him two. They watched the game. He gave him two. They gave her 2 quick whistles within the first 5 minutes in the game.
Dude,
literally.
Dude, Tatum gets knocked down by Garland, and he gets up and he just does this to the ref, and the ref gives him a T.
Yeah, sounds like a ref.
I'm sorry. I hope the NBA looks at this because this has been the worst ref year ever. I hope they redo this because like these refs are blowing things.
They honestly, I'll say this about this whole referee thing. They need to stop worrying about being in the limelight. Just be there to call the game. That's your job. Just be there to call the game. Like, nobody came to see you.
Did you hear Jaylen Brown the other night when the ref was in the play before he hit that 3? He pushed the ref because the ref was literally right next to him, and he goes, "Get out!" and he pushes him because you're in the line of play. You're supposed to be on the sideline. Don't be in the line of play. Like, know your place. But hey, at the end of the day, I think these are all great series. I can't wait to see how these all end. I know if the Timberwolves lose, we're all gonna be sitting here going, "Well, we'll maybe pick half the NBA Finals right," because we all predicted the Timberwolves to make it by. Yeah, that could still happen. I don't know. We'll find out on Friday night at 10 o'clock at night because it's so goddamn late and I won't watch it. I'll have to know the next morning. But that's everything I have for tonight. It's a quick, easy episode.
Nice. Love
So
it. Cyrus, you have anything that you want to add that you want to talk about that you don't think we hit?
No, I just no, I really just called just to mess with you, Kevin. Just say sorry.
Cyrus, I feel like that should just be like you should just honestly just randomly hop on, and even if you hop on for like 5 seconds and peace out, I think that would be a hilarious segment that you do like once a month and just not even tell us.
dude,
I have no problem with that. I have no problem with that.
dude, the Patriots made a full-on video of their release, like with the coaches doing a theorem, like how to come up with a schedule. Like that's
Oh,
phenomenal.
this did you see? I just posted one of the Steelers. They had like, hey, if you're able to make Debo, aka James Harrison, laugh, we'll let you know what the schedule is early. And I was just looking up a storm of that. It's really funny. But here, I don't so we haven't done a filibusters in the last week because Joss has been working crazy on his food truck. Shout out to Joss and the
Woo!
12 truck. Make sure
Yeah.
you guys find them, but if you're
And
around in the
follow them.
Jersey area and follow them. But so he's been rocking around, but I figured I'd find a random question for us to answer. What first world problem do you have?
Finding a house.
I mean, that's a first world problem. I
That
was
is a
thinking
for
more.
sure problem.
I think that
True.
would be, I think that's mine. My big problem right now.
Cyrus, what is your first world problem?
Um, trying to get a raise so I can quit my second job.
Right. I feel that. I
Can I
feel
add
that.
finding a job on mine too? Can I throw that in there?
There you go.
All right, cool. Throw that in there.
Love it.
All right, Kevin, what's yours?
My first world problem. Oh man, what first world problem? Just trying to figure out what shoes to wear in the morning. I mean,
Oh my God.
that's a first world problem because
Oh my God.
if you got your one comfy pair of shoes, but you're wearing like a nice outfit, then you realize, damn it, you need some color. Then you got to change to a different pair of shoes. And then you realize you wore one pair of shoes because they look cool, but then your feet hurt. You're like, damn, I need to like change out of shoes to a more comfier pair. So that'd probably be my first world problem.
All right.
But yeah,
Well,
that's really all I got. Just
all
good to
right.
be back after a little week hiatus to let Merritt do what he's got to do, and then yeah. So shall I outro us out?
Let's go. I have to use the restroom, so.
All right. Shout out! Shout out to you having to use the restroom after I was made fun of the last time we were all together. But yeah, so
I held
outro
it.
time. Here it is. So if you guys want to go ahead and watch us, continue to watch us at our YouTube page, the Million Musings Podcast. Feel free if you just want to stream us and just hear our voices. We're on all streaming platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify. And we're on Amazon Play because Google Play apparently is no longer existing. So shout out to that. Make sure you follow the Instagram. Follow Merritt's Instagram at Merritt_P. Follow my Instagram at KQuava624. Cyrus, what your Instagram is? It just Cyrus Johnson Jr., right?
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Just Cyrus Johnson Jr.
Super
simple.
easy to take his identity.
Exactly. So make sure
There
you
you
go
go.
ahead and follow Cyrus for a little basketball info. And make sure you check out our TikTok at the Manly Musings Pod and our Instagram at the Manly Musings Pod, so you can find out our weekly recaps, our episode recaps, previews of our We Out Here's. And yeah, that's what we got. Take care. You guys have a great night.
Bye,
Peace,
y'all.
y'all.